Hey everyone, welcome back to Bumpas Garage. Well, as you've seen from the last videos, we've been building a racetrack, and Lukey's been driving it pretty hard, but it's all sand, so it's creating a lot of dust. As you can see, if I kick it at all, it's dusty. So we've been trying to use this sprinkler system here, and it's not working. Track's oblong. It's about 110 foot long and 95 foot wide. So by the time we get it wet on one side for him to drive without creating dust, the other side's dry. So in Michigan, it's been 95 degrees for a couple weeks, and we just haven't had much luck with it. And in fact, Lukey drove it so much on the track last week that when we went to the races, his car started smoking, and come to find out, the air filter was plugged, even though I had just blown it out just before we left. So today we are going to go ahead and try to build us, I guess, a hillbilly sprinkler system to see if we can't solve this problem and allow him to practice a lot more. So what I did is I went and got some of these cheap Orbit sprinklers and some of these ribbed hose bibs, and I've also got a old piece of 100-foot hose here, 1/2 inch, that I'm going to try to use to tie these all together. What I didn't think about was because I want to be able to move these around, how I was going to get them to stand up. So I had some old wood around and just built me some little stands for them that should hold them up. I think the worst part about this was my hole saws didn't want to go through this wood all that good. So I guess the next step's cutting up the hose, which I hate to cut up 100 foot of hose, but that's what needs to be done to make it happen. So the first step is I would like to cut maybe 4 foot off the hose so that I can have it running out a little ways, but we can unhook it before we have to go over the track. So I can just unhook it, remove the hose it's hooked up to, and then when we're done and we want to water more, it'll be easy to hook up. So Lucas, can you bring me the end of that hose there? Yep. Thank you. All right, so what did I say we're gonna measure, Lucas?
4 foot.
4 foot. So we'll go ahead and just get roughly 4 foot here. And we'll just whack it off. Alright, so there you have it. This should, in theory, fit right over this, and we'll be able to clamp it down, and then we'll be able to cut probably basically 24 foot distances, so I can use them for other holes if I ever need to, and we'll continue building it and see what happens at the end here. So there you have it. I've got my length here, so I'll be able to hook on easy, and we'll see how it turns out at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the 24 foot lengths of the hose so that we've got length for between each one. I did use four sprinklers. Ought to cover it more than enough. So, in theory, I'll have 4 24 foot hoses if we ever decide to get rid of this thing. Alright, want to hand me that, Lukey?
Yep.
Thank you. Go ahead and hang on to it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright. So, let's get the second one here.
Clamp it back around.
See? Instead of measuring it, we're able to just use it again and use the new part. Still not sure if this is gonna work or not. We do have city water, so I'm hoping we've got the water pressure. But we do have underground sprinkling, and it seems to run it with 1/2-inch hose, so I don't see why it wouldn't. All right, then the last end, we don't need the male end on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and chop it off.
Why don't you do that?
Because this last end's gonna hook into the last one. See, I got this one doesn't have one coming out.
Oh.
That's the last sprinkler on the line.
Oh.
All right. So there we go with that part. So we've just got to continue hooking our 25-foot pieces of hose back up to, or hooking them up to the different tees. And hopefully by the time we're done, we'll create darn near 100 foot of coverage for these sprinklers. So there's our first 2 lengths there, as you can see, and we're just going to continue putting them on.
So yeah.
Okay, so we're down to the last one here. This one is just a 90 degree because we don't need it to go beyond, obviously. So we're just about ready to get this thing hooked up and see if it actually works. I'm not sure if it'll work or not, but
We're not holding our breath.
we're not holding our breath.
Nope.
We'll see though, won't we?
Yeah.
You think it's gonna work, Lucas?
I don't know.
You don't know? I don't blame you. Half the stuff I do don't work.
But half stuff does.
Yep. Well, I guess that's a good thing.
Honestly, I think a little more than half the stuff
A
does.
little more than half the stuff works.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can find a way to get more of that stuff that I do to work, huh?
Yeah.
So there you have it. There is our, I guess, hillbilly sprinkler system. We're gonna take it out to the track now and see if we can get it lined up and see if it'll actually work. Feel free to leave a comment if you'd like us to build you one. I wouldn't advise it because I'm not so sure it's gonna work, but hey, we're always happy to help. And if you have advice, please let us know.
That's the last one's on.
All right, so we've got it built. Lukey's hauling the sprinkler system out, and we're gonna see if it works. What are you doing back there?
Donuts.
Donuts, all right. So what do you think, Luke? Is it gonna work?
Hopefully.
Well, I hope so too. All right, so we've got them all set up. Let's go see how they work.
Want me to go turn off the water?
Lucas, you want to go turn on the water? Go ahead, do it.
Yeah, I'll go pull the water then.
Perfect. All right, so doesn't look like I have enough water pressure to run 3 of these things or 4 of these things. So I think we're gonna go ahead and cut it down to 3 and see if that'll make a difference. We did kink it off, and it seemed to create a lot more pressure. It's obviously wetting the track a lot more than our sprinkler was. So let's give that a try and see what happens. All right, we're on day 2 of the mini wedge track sprinkling system, and we didn't get it done last night. What I think we figured out is we don't have enough water pressure to handle 4 30-foot sprinkler heads. So we're gonna cut one of the sprinkler heads out and see if that makes a difference. I think I probably got 2 options: either get rid of one of the sprinkler heads, or maybe even get a 5/8 hose running out to the sprinklers. May give us some more water. But rather than spending $45 on another hose to just chop up, I'm gonna go ahead and remove one of the sprinkler heads and see if we can get a longer distance shooting the sprinklers and see if that'll make a difference for us. So here we go. So there we go. We've got our setup of 3 of them, and we're gonna see if they work. So I'm gonna go turn the water on and see what happens. So seems to be working better. We've definitely got more water pressure through here. I still think I might have to try the 5/8 hose, because I just don't think I'm getting enough water through those smaller hoses there, the 1/2 inch to drench it. The goal is to drench each spot in maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Originally I had wanted to make it so I could get around the whole track at once, or at the most twice, but so far my plan isn't working. So as I come up with better ideas, I'll try to share them with you. But this is definitely working, and it's a lot better than the tall sprinkler that I had. So I guess feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts. Again, if you've got suggestions, I'd be more than happy to hear them. All right, so this is after about a half hour of watering. In this corner, I've never really been able to get water on. So this will probably take more than the rest of the track, but we're getting her drenched, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to update this to the 5/8 hose and see how much difference that makes, because you can see the spots we were just watering are already drying up pretty good because of the sun. All right, so I went and got some 5/8 hose rather than the 1/2 inch hose, and there is a little more pressure, but really not that much, as you can see. So I don't know. I did hook up the 4th sprinkler. You can see it down on the end there, and there still isn't a ton of pressure, but there's definitely more pressure than there was with the 1/2 inch hose. So I may have to cut it down to just the 3 sprinklers and see if I can't cover more ground with it. Unfortunately, with what I have right now, I'm still about 30 foot short from being able to do the tracks with just one move. So moving the sprinklers just one time. So I definitely need more water pressure, I suppose, but I just don't have it. So what did I learn? I learned never use 1/2 inch hose with this stuff unless you've got a huge amount of pressure. And I'm not even sure, if you had a great amount of pressure, if a 1/2 inch hose would work. Diameter of hose definitely makes a difference. I also learned to have a plan before you do this, because I probably spent $35 extra on hose. And then I suppose the last thing I learned is I bought these Orbit sprinkler heads, and the sprinklers I have in my yard seem to have a much bigger spray, and they're a different brand. I think they're Rainbird, so I would probably try those next time. So hope you guys like this video. Hope you learned something. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button if you did. For Bumpas Garage, this is Lloyd Reed, and I'm signing off. Have a great day.